and I'm just excited because you guys are so excited. It's been about 35 years since I graduated from high school. Long time. And yet I can still get excited about what lies ahead for each one of you. And I know you've been making the rounds this year. You've been going through so many exciting things, and you're almost at the finish line. Everybody's celebrating you. I want you to pause for just a second this morning, and I want us to talk seriously about a couple of things. This year, it's been all about you. But I want you to pause for just a moment and listen to a little advice before you go out. And after 35 years and the different chapters in my life, I believe I got a couple of things that might help you in the next chapters in your life. First, I want to say it's been a pleasure meeting Romero and Asia and Kia. I think they're going to do a great job. They present very well, and I've been very impressed by talking to them. Romero's going to do a great job when he goes in the Air Force. Asia's going to do a great job at South Alabama, and Makia's going to do well on the Hill. I'm excited that they're going to be able to move into the next phase of their life. I'm also excited for each one of you. But I want you to stop right now, stop what you're doing, and I want you to celebrate some people in this room right now who may have gone unnoticed. And I want this to be a foundation for how you go through the rest of life. There have been some people who work here at the Harbor Center who have been working to make today a very great occasion for you. They've been coming around, making sure you got enough to drink, making sure they clear your place. So let's celebrate the staff here at the Harbor Center. I get a great opportunity to be with them, not every Tuesday, but most Tuesdays, as a member of the Birmingham Kiwanis Club, and I can tell you that tomorrow, the same seats you're sitting in will be filled with civic leaders and political leaders and business leaders from all over the city of Birmingham and the Jefferson County metro area. And they perform the same level of service for high school students that they do for everyone else. And so they do a great job here, and I'm really, really proud to know them. Now, why did I do that? Why did I ask you to stop and celebrate them? Most of you would probably have come in here this morning and not really paid attention to them, not noticed them, not noticed the job they were doing, not even appreciate the job they were doing. But can I tell you something? That the world runs on people who we don't pay attention to. The world doesn't run from folk who stand up and give speeches. We do good things, not to be sure, but we're not the ones who really do the nuts and bolts of our cities and pay attention to the people who do all the hard work to make things happen. Who want to make sure that his students understood how important it is to pay attention to the quote-unquote unnoticed people. He tried to bring it in every time he had a class and tell them about the significance of the people who did the hard work there at the college. On his final exam, he gave them an exam with about 100 questions on it. Told them, make sure the neighborhood I lived in, I did have a little choice in which high school I went to. Mama wanted me to go to Ramsey, which I was, at the time, you had to test to get in Ramsey, which I qualified for. But I begged my mama to let me go to Weston because I had gone to my neighborhood friends throughout my elementary and middle school days, and I simply wanted to go to school with my friends from the neighborhood. So she gave me, she let me go to West End. Turned out to be a good choice for me. But still, I found myself on graduation day, after having had tremendous success at West End High School, the next the yearbook. I was in the National Honor Society, all those things that you find good. And yet I didn't know exactly which college I was going to. I had some choices, but I hadn't solidified. You haven't solidified it either. You don't know exactly what the next step is. And yet, quickly after graduation, things started firming up. I couldn't go straight into the school choice because I had things that were going on. I just didn't have the right counseling from home next step in my life. Okay. And yet I didn't know exactly what to do. And so I started out. During that semester, my mother and I had an aunt who went to Alabama and took a trip to Tuskegee Institute. Got all my paperwork together, best thing that ever happened. The time I institute of my life thus far. Because I became great. I learned how to be a leader. And get along with people from diverse backgrounds and different ways of thinking at Tuskegee. More importantly, that chapter at Tuskegee and those choices have impacted me all the way up until this point. While at Tuskegee, I found a forever love. Some of y'all will find a forever love in your next chapter. Oh yeah, I met her there. This June, we'll celebrate 30 years of marriage. 30 years of marriage. I need you to know what the choices you make in your next chapters can impact you the rest of your life. Karen is my forever love, and we got 2 blessings as a result of it, and they're doing well. Who you choose to be in love with is important. They can either build you up or mess you up. I hope you get you up, or they can sure enough mess you up. And there's some teachers and adults in here right now who know about getting messed up from being in love with the wrong folk. Now listen. I know y'all been in love all high school, but that don't mean that's your forever love. All right? There are some serious things that come with being in love, and part of that is the responsibility to make sure you're making adequate preparation to take care of your tomorrows. And so, you got to be careful making your forever love somebody that never wanted to do their homework in high school. Probably a good indication that they're not going to want to work too much down the road. I'm just telling you now. Be careful. Be careful. If you got a work ethic, it should already be materializing right now. People who want to work and want to do something, they should have already shown up to the party saying, I want to do something and I want to be somebody. The test of life can only sometimes be reviewed, which is like anything else in hindsight. When you look back over the years and you see what your peer group is doing, and you realize that maybe I didn't make some of the right choices along the way. And so today I come to tell you that while you're celebrating all of these great things about graduation, make sure you're making good choices for the next part of your life. A few things I want to tell you as I'm talking to you today. I've learned, first of all, you need to learn how to pray. If you don't know the power of prayer, please learn it. You may not have been raised in a home that believed in the power of prayer. There are some things you can learn from others, and I'm here to tell you right now, as a young man who was raised in a home that believed in the power of prayer, it's been the biggest asset that I've had throughout these 51 years of life. I took it for granted too long. I thought it was all about me. I thought I could make it happen. I thought I was smart enough. I thought I could talk enough. I thought I could put myself in the right places. And then I realized that I didn't know enough. I couldn't go enough. And I certainly didn't know enough people to make the things happen that have happened in my life. But because of the power of prayer, God has blessed me in spite of myself. And so I'm telling you today, learn the power of prayer. I also want to tell you, don't believe everything you hear. Don't spend all you get. Don't sleep all you want. Don't do it. When you say I love you to somebody, mean it. Mean it. Don't play with people's emotions. Don't do that. I've also learned that you should never ever laugh at anybody's dreams. Never. Never laugh at a person's dream. Don't judge people by their relatives. All right? Don't do that. I also want you to know that great love and great achievement involve great risk. You got to put something out in order to get a return. Success will not walk up to you one day and say, here I am. It's not going to happen. You are going to have to work hard to achieve it, but it is attainable if you're willing to put forth the hard work. Mind your own business. Mind your own business. All right? To put it in a common sense, don't be messy. All right? Don't be messy. Don't do it. I also want you to remember the 3 R's that will lead you through life. All right? Mr. Hudson knows this. You need to, first of all, respect yourself. Then you need to respect others, especially the speaker at your senior breakfast while he's talking. And then you need to accept responsibility for your own actions. Respect for yourself, respect for others, and accept responsibility for your actions. Learn to trust in God, but lock your door on your car. All right? That means have a spiritual sense, but use common sense. I also want you to do this. Marriage a man or woman you love to talk to. Because as you get older, their conversational skills will be as important as any other skill they may have in life. I don't care how fine he or she is today. Fine don't last always. All right? So you need to be able to talk to somebody. So what's going to be your report when you show up in 20 years? When you guys we'll have the Dome Stadium by then, when y'all and Parker class of 2016 will be celebrating its 20-year reunion in 2036. And y'all be pulling up. What's going to be your report when you show up? I want you to know this. What you plan to do from today forward will have a huge bearing on what your report will be. If you have no plans today, then you're already messing up your report 20 years from now. You gotta start planning. Nobody's telling you have to go out and do all the magnificent things that your parents and their predecessors have done. Think about it now, just a span of 100 years. Your mama and dad and grandmama and granddad have done some dynamic things. Here in Birmingham, we have removed the shackles of segregation to a point where African Americans who once were intimidated by other citizens now run the majority of our institutions. Here in Birmingham, things have changed so dramatically in just the last 50 years, let alone 100, but your predecessors have done some dynamic things, and I got to tell you that we're expecting some great things from you. We're expecting you to do some dynamic things. It's already been such that your predecessors have created a dynamic financial situation in our country, gone through a recession, rebuilt the country, gone through another recession. And now here we stand waiting on you to come. Your predecessors have created the internet such that somebody who's standing somewhere in a remote place in this country can talk to just about anybody else, can communicate. We can share information across lines. Everybody in here has got some kind of smartphone. That don't mean you smart. Just because you got a smartphone, you still have to know what to do with it. And if I can give you some serious advice, stop putting all your life on your smartphone. Please do not share every intimate detail of your life on the internet, because it will show up in a strange place and it may not put you in the best light. Ask the young man who has played dynamically. I can't imagine how many football practices that young man went to. I can't imagine how many early morning drills he went to. I can't imagine how many dynamic tackles he made in football games. I can't imagine all the work it took for him to be eligible to be drafted in the NFL draft this past weekend. And after all that hard work, he had to sit up and watch millions of dollars go away in terms of his ability, because one night he hung out with his friends and he put on a mask and got high. And one of his friends recorded it. One of his friends recorded it. And one of his friends put it out. That's what happens when you put all the intimate details of your life online. It won't be the enemy. The boogeyman, the big bad guy, the guy in the trench coat, is not going to be the one to come out and hurt you. It's going to be somebody you call your boy. And that's my girl. Somebody who may not have made all the good choices you made is going to remember, you know what, I got this clip when she was doing such and such. That's before she was walking on runways. Be careful who you associate with. I've been talking to senior class breakfasts now for about 10 or 15 years. And I've been honored to do it. I thank God for the ability to do it. The basic information that I've been talking about has not changed. But this part I'm talking about here, it's a new thing. Because never before have we been able to put all the details of our lives. Snapchat might sound good, but you can save a Snapchat. And a Snapchat might show up in your interview for that job you've been wanting all your life. May just show up again. Snapchat will show up when you're trying to interview for an NFL position or in the military or anywhere you might go. Be careful how you portray yourself publicly. And the last thing I want to tell you is this. Out of all the wonderful things you've been able to do, and they have been great, I want to commend you. I've been telling Asia how much I like the black and the blue, the royal blue and the black color schemes. You guys look magnificent coming in here. But I want you to be magnificent. I don't just want you to put on a front or a face. I want you to be dynamic. I want you to believe in excellence in everything you do. I want you to carry the spirit of A.H. Parker High School with you wherever you go, because you have a heritage that is dynamic. You attended, and you can say boldly when you're standing in California talking to folk, I attended. They'll know if they studied any history concerning America that at one time A.H. Parker High School was the largest African-American high school in the United States. They'll know that. That's the heritage you have to carry. You can say, I'm from Birmingham, Alabama. And people will say, oh, I know about Birmingham. I asked this question to a man. I was at a conference last year, and we were introducing ourselves. He was from Nigeria. Birmingham. You heard of Birmingham? He looked at me as seriously as he could. And he said, brother, ain't a black man in the world that don't know. Birmingham means something. Birmingham means problems and promise. Birmingham means we have overcome. Birmingham is your heritage, and don't ever be ashamed to say you come from Birmingham, Alabama. In fact, let folks know that we're not the 1950s Birmingham anymore. We are 2016 version, and you're the together. And so I want to tell you this as I go sit down, and I want you to celebrate this as you leave. For all the dynamic things you've done, you've not done it by yourself. You have a charge to keep. You have a charge to keep. You have a responsibility to all of the folk who've done dynamic things here. You've got a responsibility to all the people who will go unnoticed, but who helped to build a better Birmingham for you. You got a responsibility. You know the song, a charge to keep I have, a God to glorify, who gave his son, my soul to save, and fitted for the sky, to serve this present age, my calling to fulfill. Oh, made all my powers engaged to do my master's